Hello everyone, welcome to Rock Studios. I'm Stan Miller, I'm the PR and Analyst Relations Manager for Rockwell Automation in the EMEA region, and I'm joined by two of our innovation leaders at Rockwell. First, I'd like to introduce Dave Vasko. He is a Senior Director of Advanced Technology for Rockwell, and joining us as well is Jerry Foster. He is the Chief Technology Officer for Plex. Gentlemen, welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Stan.
Thanks, Stan.
So guys, we're here to talk about the future of workforce. We're here to talk about technology. So to get us started right out of the gates, Dave, if I could ask you, let's talk about the challenges. What are the key challenges that manufacturers are facing now?
We're facing a lot of the same challenges. We're seeing disruptions in the supply chain. We can't get what we need. That's forcing shoring, and actually it's true for all across the world. People are trying to do things locally to be able to deliver that manufacturing capability, that capacity right there on their shore and eliminate those disturbances. We're also seeing mass customization. So you're seeing products being developed with a lot more flexibility than they have in the past. You custom design tennis shoes, but it takes you 4 weeks to get them delivered to your door. I don't know about you, I like to wear my tennis shoes out of the store. But that capacity requirement's increasing. We've seen a 116% increase in capacity in the United States, and we don't have the workforce to do it. So looking at about 800,000 jobs open in manufacturing today, that's been like that for 2 years. In the future, there's 4 million jobs opening, and we'll be lucky if we fill half those. That's a gap of 2 million people. That's the challenge that we're facing.
Yeah. So Jerry, those are some serious challenges that Dave just outlined. Starting out at a high level, how should manufacturers start addressing some of those challenges?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think sometimes there's a rush to solve and a rush to get to the solution part, and sometimes that leads to bad decisions and bad results. And I think it's important that manufacturers take a step back and really analyze what it is that they're trying to solve and actually think much more strategically and collaboratively. Make sure you get your teams around you, across functional teams, and really decide what you're trying to do and why. I think it's also important to really think creatively. Sometimes manufacturers are kind of rigid, but we really need to think out of the box to solve these solutions. Just this summer, I was talking to a manufacturer. Speaking of creatively, I can't get that word out. Speaking of that, what they had done was they were asking all of their office personnel to actually, IT, finance, to actually take one shift a week out in the plant and run a line or run a machine. And I thought that was a really creative use of their resources, actually helping improve the productivity, but also giving everyone an idea of what it's like to work out on the shop floor, just to increase the ideas and the collaboration and even the empathy a little bit, and then just to improve that camaraderie out in the factory and in the whole company. And so I thought that was really unique. So just taking a step back and being more strategic about how you're approaching these serious problems is important.
That's a great example. Let's drill down a little bit more if it's okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about things like artificial intelligence, robotics, automation. What impact are these technologies having on the workforce?
So it's absolutely huge, right? Because if you think of the stat that Dave just talked about, 2 million open jobs, how are you going to solve for that? In fact, I just read a statistic that said if every single unemployed person that has experience in durable goods manufacturing decided to actually take a job in durable goods manufacturing, they would only fill 65% of the open positions. So that still leaves, even if that happened, you still have 35% of the positions still open. So how do you solve for that? There's only a couple of ways a couple levers that we have. And the first is automation, just actually taking the robotics and actually doing the jobs that people aren't flocking to right now or doing right now. Those repetitive tasks on the shop floor that we can automate, that's one lever. And it's interesting because it used to be this whole concept of robotics was viewed as a really evil thing. You're going to take jobs from American workers, because that's usually what happens when you have new technology and disruption. We have a displacement. But in this case, the automation and the robotics, they're just helping us keep pace. They're just barely helping us account for work that's not being done. The second one, and Dave has kind of alluded to this, is making our workers more productive. And that's where some of these technologies come in. Cloud, augmented reality, AI, IoT, all these Industry 4.0 technologies, they enable our workers to be more productive and more efficient and more effective at the jobs that they're already doing.
That's great. So Dave, if I could throw it over to you now, because Jerry's kind of stepped us through some of those technologies, how should manufacturers approach technology adoption to meet the challenges?
Sure. Well, you look behind us and you'll see all this innovative technology that's happening. So look and see what's out there. But the real key is actually giving your workers superpowers, making them more productive. And there's lots of ways to do it. AI is a good example. We're able to learn what people do, how they do it the best, and teach your new employees based upon the experiences of your older employees. It's about taking your employees and leveling them up. McKinsey had one study where a company decided to level up all their employees. Their operators became technicians, and technicians worked to become engineers. Everyone became more powerful. And it's about giving those workers the superpower and providing that productivity that's going to allow us to meet the demands we see.
Jerry, would you like to add anything to Dave's comments?
Yeah, I would, because Dave mentioned the expo floor behind us and all these really awesome technologies. And if you're a technologist like us, it's like it's like a kid in a candy store, right? I'll take one of those, and I'll take one of those, and I'd love to have that, right? And so we have this tendency to just want to adopt all these technologies because they are allow us to be so much more productive. But I think it's really important that we first have the discipline to take a look and see what problems do we have. Where are our pain points? And what goals do we have for the next year or 2 or 3? And put those things together and prioritize those. And then when we have that list, then we can map those technologies out there to solve those specific problems. Otherwise, we're just throwing technology against the wall and not really solving real issues that we're having in our factories.
Oh, I mean, that comment really connects well to the theme on the show floor of results achieved, right? Getting it done, what's happening, really tangible results.
Right.
Fantastic. Gentlemen, it is my absolute privilege to have this time to chat with you. I think you are innovation leaders at Rockwell Automation. Great discussion.
Thanks.
So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank
you, Stan.
Appreciate it.
And thank you for watching. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, make sure that you're subscribed. Watching this on YouTube, make sure that you're following us. And of course, for extra information on Rockwell Automation's technologies, please visit us at rockwellautomation.com. Thank you for watching.
Nice job.
Yeah.